Hi guys, it's Steve here at Golf Tech Systems. Today we are in the Milton Keynes Demo Centre. Yesterday we put a post up on Facebook, video with Tiger Woods, Tiger getting out of what seemed an impossible situation, I think with a 5-wood. But it just goes to show that sometimes you've got to practice these different types of shots. Now, sims are great, obviously it's very difficult for us to replicate rough and lie. But something that we can do is replicate the wind and those sorts of weather factors, whether it be rain as well. So we made reference to E6 on the post and obviously how we can manipulate it. And what I just wanted to show you today is how we can do that with the software so you can understand it more after yesterday's post. So we've got E6 set up on the sim here behind me. Today we're using the True Track from True Golf Tracking Technology. Target set up at 150 yards of range. I've got my A-time, which normally hit around about 150-ish. So I'm going to hit just a normal shot to start with, just so you can see the system and the ball flying with no wind at all. Okay. So, not too bad there, round about right for distance. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to change the wind element. So all we need to do is go over to the touch screen, into the weather setting, and then we've got practice wind. So we've got the option of moving the slider up to 45 miles an hour on the wind speed. Pretty extreme, but that's what we'll do today, just to show it at its strongest. And then we can just touch the compass to dictate which way we want the wind direction coming from. So to start with, we're going to go 45 mile an hour and straight into the wind. So obviously I'm going to try and help put similar swing onto what I've done on the last one, and reaction would be obviously the ball is going to come up well short. Also good to keep your eye on the side tracer down the bottom right of E6. You'll there see the flight from side on, so obviously the ball is going to peak, you know, it's then going to start, obviously the descent is going to be a lot steeper than what we've seen without the wind. So let's see if we can hit a similar sort of shot to what we've just done and see the results. Okay, too bad. And now we can see obviously E6 with the wind element stop the ball quite dramatically. So that's a really good thing that we like about this system, is we can put that variable in. Now we've got the option, you can see on the fly tracer what happens to my ball flight. You can see obviously the wind kicking in and killing the ball. So whether it now be obviously go down club to obviously get to that distance, we can then work on that to understand what sort of clubs we need to hit for sort of distances with wind speeds. Always a good thing to know. Whether we're going to try and change the shot we're hitting, so we might decide to try and hit more of a punchy shot to try and keep the ball underneath the wind. We've got those options. Just to give you another demonstration of the wind as well, we will now go back into the weather setting and change the direction of the wind. So we've now got 45 mile an hour wind coming from the left. So I'm not going to allow for that shot to start with, just to give you a demonstration again. So I'm just going to hit a perfectly straight shot, try to hit a perfectly straight shot so you can see the results. Now we can see obviously the wind taking over and obviously pushing the shot right. So what we can do now is now we can realign ourselves. So I need to edge left of the target. That's going to be my new target line. You can see the target line on the screen. That's what I'm hitting down now. And then hopefully, with that amount of wind, that should get the ball pretty much back to centre target. Let's see what that one does. Okay. And then we can see, still taking slightly right. That wind at 45 mile an hour is really strong. But it gives you a good idea of how you can use these sorts of systems, manipulate the conditions, and work on different shots, different aspects, different alignment to try and compensate for the weather conditions. So we've got various different types of hardwares at Golf Tech Systems in our demo centre. The point of MK is for you to book an appointment, come in, try these different technologies out. If you've got a garage, room in the house, whether you're a pro, whoever it may be, there's different budgets and different setups that we can make. One thing that we can do is we try to sell a lot of our systems in component form. What I mean by that is you might not have the budget straight away to go into a nice big projected setup. So we may be looking at going down the route of something like SkyTrack, adding E6 software into it, and then just having a net and maybe the PC screen or even into just a TV screen. That means that we can get the same sort of feeling that you're seeing here, or at least the same results, but on a lot less of a budget. Then, if you wanted to add an enclosure and then a projector at a later point, you're just adding those components in when budget allows. So, yeah, the whole point of MK, get yourself booked in, come down, try all the different tech out, tell us what your budget is, what your expectation is, room dimensions that you're looking at, and we can go from there. But hopefully today you can see from yesterday's Facebook post what we were talking about with E6 and how changing the settings in the weather can really help practice your game, especially in the winter period. Good luck with that, guys. We hope to hear from you soon. Cheers.